So the Marvels came out beginning on Thursday. Came out for a little bit of an early release, and the reviews for this have been mixed to say the least. I've seen probably every kind of review for where the movie was good. It was a lovely breath of fresh air, good relaxing movie, not to be taken too serious. And I've seen that this is the worst Marvel movie that they have made. And this is the entire problem with Marvel as a whole, and everything in between. Like it has been pretty much the mixed bag that I almost expected to see when this movie came out. I've seen every kind of review. I personally don't think it's a bad movie. I don't think it's an amazing movie. I don't think it's like anything special, but I don't think it's a bad movie. I think it's solid. I think it's a movie that you can go not take too seriously. Get you a good laugh, get you a good, pleasant, enjoyable, simple plot, and go and get it out the way. But I ain't gonna give you my full review. I ain't gonna steal myself out the way. I'm gonna start, from the bottom. Zell, what do you think of the Marvels?
It's not the worst.
I can't wait.
It's not the worst Marvel movie ever. It's just the most disappointing. And I'm gonna give y'all why it's the most disappointing. You simply had threads to make a great show, a great movie, and you took none of them. You're just like, okay, here's the threads to weave a movie, and it's perfect, but we not gonna put any effort into weaving the threads at all. And we just gonna make you happy by giving you something later on that makes you happy, that's gonna try to satisfy you, because we know we put no effort into this movie at all. We had the basic concept down. The basic concept was there. And they're like, yo, listen, we just gonna skip over that because the director gonna leave halfway through the movie and leave for 4 months. And then come back and forget everything she wrote to have the movie. So I'm like, you had Iman Vellani, aka Kamala Harris, and you have a chance to make her important and valuable, and you put her in something that you have written. You have Tiana Parrish, who was amazing, and you made her what? Why did you not make her important to the end? And then it kind of something happens in the end that makes her important, but you kind of like, oh, I thought she was a side character the whole time. Listen, the movie had a chance to be great. That's why it's the most disappointing Marvel movie I've seen. Samuel L. Jackson personality switching between movies is confusing now. I'm like, okay, he's serious. Okay, he's a killer now. Okay, this time he's a comedian who don't care if the world's in danger. This time he's like, oh, the superheroes got it, and then the other movie like, I don't need superheroes. I'm like, this just happened. We have to pretend. We have to protect ourselves. They're like, oh, all the Marvel people save us. Let's go and let me have a bunch of cats, and we're gonna run around and spit them out on my laugh. I'm like, why is it? Are they not? The problem I'm having is it's not coherent, which is the reason I love the show we talk about later, because it's coherent through the first season through the second. And Secret Invasion and the Marvels and everything has a lot of inconsistencies in personalities, not only in story, but in personalities, which is kind of throws me off. That's before spoilers, by the way.
Well, that's his reviews. He says it's the most disappointing movie, but not the worst movie in Marvel.
Thor 2 Dark World is by far the worst movie they ever put out. I don't give. That is a horrible movie. That movie wasn't even disappointing. It was just bad from the beginning.
Unico Williams, rebuttal.
So I'm going to come from a space of not being a comic book purist, although a vast knowledge of comic books, but not every single detail like my friends seem to have. My friends seem to be very deep and know every saga ever since 1954, which I don't even know how they did this, but that's okay. So coming from a cinematic a cinematic experience, I enjoyed it as a standalone. It's just a story. It's just one of many stories. Like they didn't stop making stories. Like Captain Marvel has lots of stories. I'm sure she can tell. I'm sure there's lots of stories about Monica Rambeau. I'm sure there's lots of stories about Kamala Khan. There's lots of stories. This is just a story that was told that happened to have them, which was very interesting from a standpoint of, I love the combo scenes. I love those. Like when they figured out how to do the switching and all that. I think that choreography was amazing. I don't know who trained this little girl how to fight because I don't. Not she know how to slide and use her kicks and the whip and all that stuff. Her scarf. She would eventually get an upgrade on her uniform, but I don't know where she learned that stuff from because I don't know. But I guess the answer is because, and that's fine. It's a movie. But I think that with the Monica Rambeau and Captain Marvel angle, I think they spent way too much time on something to me that I felt like was insignificant. Like, Monica, you mad for no reason, in my opinion. You're mad at her for no reason. I don't get it. You got blipped, to be honest. So let's not forget that. And you mad at her because she was off doing hero stuff while you was blipped. I think that Disney did put Mickey Mouse put his little hands in it real quick with the whole song and dance. Captain Marvel is now a
Why are you
princess.
saying like you hated it?
I don't.
Yeah.
It was
Yes,
it was
did.
just I didn't expect it, and it felt super duper out of place.
I like the whole movie just joined it for no reason.
That part of it was like, why is there a race of people that only know how to communicate by singing? And then you say that the prince is bilingual, sing at all. So there was that whole thing. So there was that, and then of course
a lot of not explaining the stuff for no reason, just
that was just for no reason. And then the fact that there was a less evil Stacey Dash as their villain, that was kind of cool. She was a very pretty woman. She's just less evil than Stacey Dash.
Tom Hiddleston, wife, by the way, that plays Loki, that's his wife. And my problem with her is not her as a character, but they had a story that she had, and they just went over it for 2 minutes and just said screw it, and then she just showed up to move the plot along throughout the rest of the movie.
So there's that piece of knowledge that a regular fan would not know because I was just watching a movie. So yeah, overall I thought the movie was okay, but I believe that was the best post-credit scene we've ever seen out of Marvel ever.
We'll get to that. Let me give
that's my review of the movie. Is that movie was like and then you get to the post-credit scene, and that was the best part of the actual movie. So I don't know if that says a lot, but it also
says a lot. That says a lot.
No, I don't think it says a lot because it's the best one.
I don't even know if it's the best one, but we can argue. But if that's the biggest,
we can definitely argue that. We can definitely argue that one. Yeah, for sure. But there it is. That's Unico Williams' take on the Marvels.
Now, I mean, Monterey, I gave a little bit of spiel at first. To me, I don't have much of I have a problem with the movie, but it's not with my fellow co-hosts down here share. I don't really have a problem with most of the plot of the movie. They wanted to keep it extremely simple. They didn't want to go. I can see they didn't want to go too outside of the box, with their three main stars. They didn't want to go too over the top. They was like, you know what? Give a real simple story so that, they can band them together, have a couple of subplots, between Monica and Carol, which I get it. Monica had a bit of a problem, like, baby girl, you left me. You wasn't there. My mom was already gone. You never came back. I feel her, but I didn't really feel that dynamic. Like, yeah, she was mad, but they didn't really. It's like, yeah, she was mad that, we get abandoned on a desert planet. All right, we cool. Share some hugs. All right, we straight. So I'm just like, they just like, they didn't really make me feel like that issue. It's like, okay, I got a little bit of a beef, squabble, hug it out, we straight. So I'm like, okay, it didn't really make me feel that pain that Monica really had, from all this. So I didn't really feel that as much. But it's because they didn't really
skipped over it.
Like, they didn't really focus too much on it. So I'm just like, I'm not gonna really hold it because okay, it was a little something, a little tiff. I bet that's about it, So it's like, so it is what it is for that. I don't know, it went full walk. They held back a lot. To me, I ain't gonna lie, like even the sing dancing part, like I didn't really have too much of an issue with it. I dang near expected it because I'm just like, this movie from the beginning, I did not take it seriously. Like I didn't really take much of the plot or anything just serious. I'm like, this is relatively a lighthearted movie. So them having a sing and dance moment, shoot, I ain't even mad at it. Like that was one of the ones I enjoyed, not for the singing and dancing, but because Monica and Miss Marvel to the back of it. Actually, let me just say this right here. Let me say this right here. Without this girl in this movie would have been like a 4 and below. I need
it was trash. She carried this movie.
This girl, I don't know where Marvel has the ability to go out and scout and find talent that are relatively unknown or we don't know their names a lot in mainstream media, but they have been able to find gems in actors out of nowhere. This girl, shout out to you. This girl is a wonderful actor. Like, she makes you believe that she enjoys being Miss Marvel to every extent. She makes you believe that I love being this part. I really am Miss Marvel. Like, her expressions, all of it. Like, she brought joy to the movie because those other two, whew, like I can't even hold you. Like Captain Marvel here. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Like,
I didn't even know what her personality was.
I did not feel a lot of. I didn't really feel much emotion from her at all. Even the scene where she had a tear, I was just like, I didn't feel much of anything from her. Like, shout out to Iman Vellani, which is the actual actor of. If I'm saying your name wrong, I apologize. But she acted the mess out of it. She carried this movie 3 points alone. Like, her family brought life to the movie. Of course, with Nick Fury on a couple parts. Her family brought life to the movie. She brought life and emotion to the movie. Like, if she was not there, this movie would have been a 4 below. This movie would have been rough. So
Tiana Parrish lines were all like written like they was a robot and AI.
Like,
and I'm like, how's she gonna perform these?
Even Monica Rambeau, like, she was like hit or miss with some of her parts. Some parts, okay, she rocking with it, she can feel it, and some parts she's just like, eh.
It's like it written by AI. Go back and watch it, bro. It's like somebody wrote AI for her in certain scenes, and it was like the director, like, I'm taking off 3 months to not do this movie and do another movie, but here's AI scene I'm gonna send y'all to do. I'm just saying.
Like, I just like, to me, I was just like, it's okay, it's solid. Like I said, they weren't trying to do too much with the movie, and I feel them like, okay, you ain't got to do too much. You can be solid. You can be straight. We ain't gonna hold you too much. It's just, I'm cool. I'm cool with mostly, but
you had a chance to do Brie. You have a chance to make Brie Larson literally have a little girl that looked up to you, who is now upset with you, and a little girl that looks up to you completely, like, full-heartedly, and they looking at you. And you feel like a disappointment, and you did not explore that story much at all. That's my problem. See, as a writer, that's my problem. You had the story, but you like, no, we ain't gonna do that. We finna just cut everything out of this movie and just make it the most simple Marvel movie ever. And
I don't think that was actually super duper necessary. Just like the way that the Monica and Captain Marvel thing wasn't necessary. It wasn't really a big deal. Like. They just threw that in there for filler. Here's a couple of lines.
Well, if you gonna throw it in there, do it. Don't just throw. This is my point about disjointed. Why throw it in there if it's not important? Now it's disjointed. It's not.
I mean, it was there.
You're like, oh, I'm curious about this, and then you just skip over it.
I wasn't curious because at the end of the day, I knew it was unnecessary because like I said. Monica, why are you tripping in the first place? You got blipped,
but
right?
They introduced it. It's no problem. Darham, okay. The Annihilator ruined our country.
And matter of fact, okay, I was waiting because that is the problem I had with this movie. This antagonist. Oh my God. I could not rock with Dharma. I couldn't rock with Dharma at all.
She running to destroy it, bro. She just a copycat.
I wasn't feeling nothing. I couldn't feel nothing about the acting, the motivation, none of it, bro. I wasn't feeling none of it. They
skipped all of it. That's why.
I couldn't, but no, I mean, they went through her motivation. They were like, I'm trying to say the Annihilator came through, bro. I just wasn't feeling it. Like, I'm just like, just no. Like, I don't feel threatened come from you. I don't feel anger come. Like, I'm supposed to see anger, but I don't feel no anger. I don't feel no threat. I don't feel no vibes or nothing. I'm just like, you just here. Like, you like one of the antagonists I'm gonna forget about by the time I walk out of the credits.
She copied and rolling this, bro.
I couldn't feel this antagonist. That drugged the movie down. I'm like, okay, I got the 3 main characters, some acting, some fun, some laughs. And every time they go to one of her scenes, I was just like, oh, here we go again, man.
Bro, she literally just a copycat. She even got the dude's hammer. She wears the same clothes the dude wear. She's literally a copycat from the guy from Guardians of the Galaxy.
So
I couldn't do it.
yeah, and I would say let's pretend this. So like my whole thing was when she came on there, it was more to me about just looking at her and admiring her beauty more than anything. But like
Yeah.
once I knew what she wanted, okay. I'm wondering how you really standing up to Captain Marvel like this. I mean, the chick just lit the biggest candle that you possibly can light just within the last 20 seconds of the movie. But that is what it is. But all this could have been just y'all. What? Oh, y'all needed a sun, and y'all need to borrow some water. That's it.
Then when you keep saying stuff like that, like, oh, I realized it didn't matter, and then this don't matter. I'm like, does this move? So this is a movie that don't matter.
Like
it's not supposed. It's not all movies have to matter. You can just have a movie.
I mean, it matters. It matters because of what happened at the end. But I'm just
that part.
Her whole thing. It didn't make me feel it. Like her whole trying to get cool with the Kree and like getting the Kree and just I couldn't do it. I just couldn't. Like after she destroyed some of the Kree in the other home world, everything else just lost me. I was like, okay, she caused some problems, caused some and destruction. Got you. After that, a little tussle on the water planet, and that I was like, what? Like just
by the way, spoiler warning. She killed Captain Marvel's husband, essentially took all the water from the planet, and they never addressed it. They are dead now.
I wouldn't feel another. I was like, like even at the end, during her moment where Miss Marvel and the rest of them were trying to stop her and trying to save her and try to help her, she's like, no, I'm gonna do. It's like matter of fact, the ending sequence, I don't understand. Her whole point was let me give the sun and everything to my planet, and she ends herself and blows open a hole in the dimension. Like, what sense does that make? I'm pretty sure that's not what she was trying to do. But just all of a sudden, I'm like, you could have left, went somewhere else, and you decided to just go balls to the wall. Like, what? No, like just oh my goodness, no. They lost me with it. They lost me with that part. But speaking of that sequence, like I said, it did lead to something great, something important.
By the way,
we'll give you Nico Williams the honor of speaking about why I happen to have a picture of Hank McCoy in this lovely thing.
Monica Rambeau goes to so apparently that final place that she was going to was actually a different reality. I thought she was going to her home world. Our son was going to her home world. No, it's actually going to another reality. That reality happens to have Hank McCoy, Charles Xavier, at least we know, and at least we know the X-Men because the door. And then we saw, Monica's mom is like her. Maybe this is a world where Monica didn't live.
Binary, I believe.
That's possible.
No, I believe it's her name. Her name is Binary.
Binary. Hello. Oh, okay. See that part I didn't know. What's up? And so not only did she wake up and see her mom, that was the first surprise. Now we know we're in another dimension, which and also is opening the door to be like Monica's never coming back at this point. But then,
100% coming back.
Oh, she coming back.
Okay, that's fair. But just me, I'm thinking she want to be with her mom. They might have that heartfelt, but I'm not here to predict that today.
She is.
I'm not here to predict that today.
Well, no.
What I am here to do is say, then they actually showed us CGI Hank McCoy, aka Beast. I was so shocked and surprised, and I was like, "Oh shit, here it goes." Disney getting in that bag. They heard y'all talking shit. Now Disney about to get in that bag and let y'all know, no, we ain't done yet. So that was a cool part. And then the fact that because the first thing I did was look at the credits after that. I said, okay, who is playing him? We got Kelsey Grammer, Frazier himself, everybody playing the Hank McCoy. Interesting.
That's the one thing I can't really wrap my head around. Like Binary being like another version of her mom or something. Like they already established in that little scene She was like, "Who are you? I'm not who you think I am." And that's when she was like, "Oh crap! Like you're not my actual mother or whatever." So she snapped out of it at least, which I'm happy that I ain't got to think about that later on. It just be awkward that why you look like my mom, but whatever. So that'd be fine. I can't wrap my head around why they chose the X-Men. I mean, the Beast from X-Men 3, because I'm just like, wasn't that
It's for
version
Deadpool.
like wasn't that version redone? Like that version was redone after Days of Future Past. So I'm like, why
that's
you
for
choose
Deadpool,
X-Men 3?
It's gonna be for Deadpool. If you heard into the like not spoilers, but like what the plot is, they find out all the prime versions.
I mean, that still don't make sense though. Like it makes sense that you can link Deadpool to this because you can just have Wolverine just have her be a part of that universe. That's cool. But I'm just like, I don't see how you link them back. I'm just saying I don't know how you link them back to getting Monica back over.
Yeah.
Before Days of Future Past undoes that entire timeline.
According to Deadpool, the TVA is supposed to be looking for people to fight the Kings. So they're looking for prime versions of each character to fight them. So Deadpool is like Deadpool finds Hugh Jackman, who finds probably this Hank Pym, who finds Monica, who probably somehow links back.
I'll take that. I mean, if they go get Deadpool and then they end up cherry picking Beast and cherry picking Monica out of that timeline, I'm not mad at that. That actually make a lot of sense. I'll take that because I was so confused. But otherwise, this is easily top 3.
That's the only movie that come out.
Easily top 3 post-credit scene. Easily top 3. I mean, just like yes, like
I give it top 3.
One easily top 3. Just having the X-Men finally confirmed, officially confirmed, is wonderful. Finally confirmed. Like thank God. So now we know, they're here in some form. Now it's just a matter of getting them all in the same timeline, and it's cool. But ultimately, my score for the movie, shout out to BMT. We ain't gonna hate on them. We love them. No, I give the movie an honest. I give it 6 out of 10. Like I said, it's not a horror movie. It's not a bad movie. It's a movie that you'll watch probably one time, give it one good one through, enjoy your laughs, enjoy the good times, and you get through it. It's not something that's going to necessarily put you to sleep or nothing like that. It's not bad. It's a solid movie. You can watch it, get through it once, enjoy it. And even shout out to like my coach even said, the fight scene, the very first fight scene where all 3 of them are switching around. I'm sorry, that's one of the best fight scenes in the entire MCU. That scene is wonderful. Where they're all fighting, getting through Miss Marvel's house, just throwing through the roof, all flipping and switching around everywhere. I'm sorry, that's one of the best fight scenes choreographed they've done in the entire MCU. That scene is wonderful. So I'm cool. And then that hypes you up, and then we got weird moments like tentacle cats eating everybody. Like it's just the movie is a lot of hit and miss going in there, but the movie I think is solid. I don't think it's no.
Why Samuel L. Jackson personality changed from movie to TV show?
Because it's not about him at this point. Nick Fury old, but I mean, and plus he had his own show. We don't need to worry about him. I ain't worried about the Nick Fury. He just had his own show.
Just came off. He made this meeting for the Korean what's name, and he wasn't even mad that she ruined it. He made the meeting. If you look at Secret Invasion, he was just like,
he didn't really ruin it. Like Darwin, the one that ruined it. So I mean, there ain't really nothing you could do about that. Like Darwin ruined it. Oh well, they saved some of the people, and you keep it going. But like, I'm not really mad. The movie's not bad. It's not nowhere near the worst movie in Marvel. Some people.
Oh no,
it's not the worst movie in Marvel. It's not.
Thor 2 is by far the worst.
The worst thing you can say, it's probably the worst movie of Phase 5, but Phase 5 has only had 3 movies, and to me, between this and Ant-Man, they both are like, so I'm not really mad at either one. Like this, they solid. You can get through them once. That's about it. Then Guardians of the Galaxy is a wonderful movie. So I mean, I'm cool with it. Like I said, it's fine. It's not a horror movie. They got a straight movie. It's short, which is good that it's short. If this movie's like 2.5 to 3 hours long, it'd be horrible. But it's good. It's quick. You can get through it in a good run through. You can even bring some people that's never seen any of the Marvel movies, and you can watch this straight out, and they will be fine with the plot. They would understand it. As long as they got a little bit of interest in space travel, they would not get lost at all. So it's fine. No real issues. Cool.